Hello and welcome to the Hat Hazard podcast. I've had, yes, I suppose like a lovely week. I am having a really, really nice time of things at the moment. But I was thinking about, because it's obviously been the summer, and I think, as I said before, my dream one day, if I had my dream life, which I'm very much feel like I do a lot of the time. But if I have my dream life, then all summer, every summer will be spent going off on adventures. And then I thought, right, maybe this is where parenting all gets a little bit muddy and scary, which is maybe the biggest, most important chat you have to have with yourself as a parent, whether you are a single parent or otherwise, is like, what's my unique skill set? What's the unique skill set that I can bring to this table of parenthood? Like I was thinking about Liam Neeson in Taken, Sexiest Dad Alive, where he ultimately, basically what Taken, the film, is about is a man who understands his unique skill set as a parent. Like he has that whole speech where he's like, hi, I've got this really unique skill set and it is murder and I am going to do it on you. And I sort of feel that's the message. Maybe it's not a revenge film. Maybe it's a parenting film where it's going, you know what you really just need to know is what you just bring to the table so that when said table beckons, you bring the thing. And I've realised that aside from being the mum who everyone's going to be scared of because of my like volatility and fury, I think I bring that, but that's fine. And I will deal with that. And that'll be part of the course, but I'm also going to get that in check. And obviously the fact that if anyone messes with her, there's obviously a version of the world where I put them on blast and say them on a podcast like Dean McCarthy from Witness, or have a set about them. So I feel like those are the things that might stop her getting fucked with. But also, I feel like I'm very good. Can you imagine if this was just a podcast about my strengths? So I've been like, I'm incredibly talented at. But I'm very good at, I think, adventuring. That's something that in the years before mummying, I was really good at. I was really good at just, I'd say people who love me would argue it was a bit deranged sometimes, but just up sticks and leaving and really happily just going off and being like, no, I'm going to go here and going and having a really nice time and not always necessarily having a plan. I appreciate that I also say how good I am at adventuring whilst having been very honest about how much I don't do portaloos. And I think I need to be clear. I think I am really good at adventuring. And I don't mean adventuring to like a Hilton hotel somewhere nice. I mean, genuinely it being pretty rough and ready. I just need the option of cleanliness. I think that's what I've whittled it down to. I can go off and drive for hours and sit on a beach for hours until the sun sets and eat sandy sandwiches and have all the like crusty sun cream and salt in my hair and all the rest, and not mind for as long as I like. I just need then like the option of getting clean afterwards. I think that's what it is. That's the bit the festivals I struggle with. That is, I remember on the, I think 1 or 2 times I went to a festival, just never getting clean. There's not enough baby wipes in the world, and I wasn't going to go into that like Veruca cupboard of a shower and get clean. So I think that's what I would say. I think I'm quite good at the adventuring. I mean, Pickles and I have one in a few weeks. I think I've said that because I've got gigs down south, and I love that stuff. But the person I've got on as my guest today is a very, very special person to me, and he is the captain of adventures. He is a very good mate of mine, but he'll talk about it, but I love how, and he still does, he and his family, gosh, hair on the mic, have these amazing adventures, and it's so outdoorsy. I'd love to be that outdoorsy, but I will take us a minute, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to learn it on Pickles' time. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want her to watch me grapple with a rapid when I'm shitting myself. So, but they're so outdoorsy. And what I love about when he speaks about his childhood and all the adventures is he so associates his parents with adventure. He doesn't associate going home to this place where it's, nice cardigans and they sit down and they have tea, and like he so associates his parents with adventure and this sort of hunger for life. And I think there's a lot of things I can't offer Pickles. There's a lot of things, not just financial, but a lot of things that even I had growing up that I really can't offer her. And I'm aware of them. So even just because of what my job is. So I'm sort of like, no, I'm going to really start focusing on the things that I can and like fucking having at it, I think is where I'm going to go with that. she's a great traveller. I can't complain. She's brilliant along car journeys, brilliant on a plane. She was great. I mean, she was very little when she went on a boat in Greece, but she's all right. She's good for it. So fingers crossed, I guess, if I just keep doing it. The other thing I think I realise I offer her is, and again, this only comes when you sort of reflect back on your own stuff. I think she will meet so many, and already has met so many different types of people, not just looking different, but being so different. Comedy is, for all its pitfalls, very good for bringing lots of different types of people together. And I sort of love that she's got that. And it makes me look back on my childhood. And I was like, oh no, I think it was really, really quite similar. I think everyone was really similar in our communities and where I grew up. I think racially, I mean, considering we grew up in London, but it's West London in the 90s, I don't think it was diverse really at all. I don't think we had any same-sex couples in our lives. All this makes it sound like I grew up in this like sterilised little Stepford wife environment, but I'm just being really honest. West London in the 90s, I just didn't. I really didn't. I mean, Notting Hill's up the road, but I wasn't. We weren't like cool like that. we weren't that like cool young. That wasn't our family. We were like rugby family, so obviously it was quite homogenous and the same. But I love that Pickles has all these different versions of life and people and families and everything like that. Except I do need to say this: I was so worried when I was pregnant that she was a racist. That was my main concern. Right up there. It was so bad. The only people were like, what cravings did you have? No cravings. The only food aversion I had was Chinese food. I mean, to the point that I could walk past a Chinese restaurant and like dry heave on the side of the street, like retching for my life on the side of the street. And every Chinese restaurant, I was like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God, she's racist. I've got a racist baby. Her auntie's Chinese. Her auntie is 100% Chinese. Her auntie's family are Chinese. I like... How the fuck? And then the worst, and then the only time I actually properly vomited after food when I was pregnant, Mexican, a burrito. Guess where my sister's boyfriend's from? Mexico. Thank you. I was like, oh, so perfect. So not only is she racist, she's actually targeting her family racist. So this is perfect. Christmas is going to be amazing. I'm birthing a full racist. Good news is, not at all the case. And I don't even have one of those kids who stares at people who aren't white, which is, I mean, I've nannied those kids where you're just, I don't even know what to say to this. Because you know it's done with curiosity, but also like, oh my fucking God. We had one the other day though. It was quite bad. We went to this brilliant museum and there were these dinosaurs walking around the museum, like massive, incredible how they'd done them. These like amazing dinosaurs like walking around being like, rah! And listen, are there better dinosaur noises out there? I'm sure there are, but that was my go. And all these like huge, like wall through the atrium. And I turned around and Pickles was just staring at a woman using a walking stick, like with a crutch. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, girl, Pickles, would you... over here with the fucking dinosaurs walking past your head. And she's just at the woman with the walking stick. I was like, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Jesus, spot the comedian's child. Hello. Welcome back to the Hat Hazard podcast. And I'm going to use a printout because this story has flummoxed me and actually given me more joy than I can possibly say. For many reasons. Man who has spent 28 years walking from Chile to Hull stopped from swimming the English Channel home. Right, I don't know if any of you have been following this. It's a former paratrooper called Carl Bushby has spent nearly 30 years walking home from Hull. So he started in Hull, I guess, walked to South America, and then is coming back to Hull. Like, guys, just go to therapy. Just go to therapy. You don't have to walk the whole world by yourself, by himself. He said his dad has been on bits because his dad, let me get this right, his dad was also in the SAS. So there's definitely no untapped trauma here. A former paratrooper and his dad who was also in, let me get this right. Oh, it might be on my other phone on my other article that I pulled up. Yeah, so his dad was also in the SAS. he's also occasionally on the trip with Carl, with his son. Like, honestly, you should read the article. He was a paratrooper, had a bit of a tough childhood because he was dyslexic, etc., etc., which I'm not underplaying. But like, if you're a grown human man and you turn around to your nuclear family and you're like, I'm going to walk from Hull to Chile and back, there's a problem. There is something going on. There's something. Because you could just go to holiday. You could just have a series of holidays to all these places and have lovely adventures. I've said I really like adventures. This feels like not an adventure. This now feels like beyond adventure. This is moving to space. Anyway, what has made me chuckle about this, and probably shouldn't because it's fucking devastating. This man has spent 28 years. He left in 1990. Wait. He set off from Chile in 1998 and has reached Belgium. And the French are stopping him swimming the channel home. He's not allowed to take any transport. I should have probably said that because you're listening to this being like, why is he swimming? He's not allowed to take any transport, planes, trains, automobiles, buses, whatever. Has to walk it, do the whole thing on foot, or I guess swim when there's water. And he once asked to walk. So the channel has proven a challenge more than once after Eurotunnel bosses refused his request to walk through it in June. So this is, listen, we give them shit, but the French are fucking hilarious. The French are so funny. This is amazing. There's a man whose whole life, his entire raison d'etre has been to walk the earth, I guess. Look, obviously, I think it's insane, but that's what he's decided. And he's literally got there and they're like, no. They're like, no, it's not the rules. You're not allowed. No. And you know they won't have given a fuck. Like, you know, these French authorities will have been like, I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck about you and your walking. Like, it's so funny. It could only be the French. They'll be like appealing to the humanity of like, but please, I walked here. Then just be like, you are fucking stupid. Like, yeah, all I want to do is be a fly on the wall. When this man from Hull has been appealing to the French to let him swim the channel. I guess the reason is that turns out you're not allowed to swim. Did you know this? You're not allowed to swim from France to England. You could only swim from England to France. And it's because of how much shipping traffic there is in the French bit. But then I was like, but that would apply either which way. But I guess they can monitor it better, or they have more of a scheme, or the boat that guides you in. Whatever, I haven't done it. Prob's not going to. But I love this. I love that Carl, his response was, I'm not angry it has come to this. I'm more disappointed. But things could still change. Walking through the service tunnel is still the preferred option. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's so fucking enlightened after walking. It's like the walking the Camino, isn't it? But except a gajillion times longer. Where he's just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, is he so enlightened by all the walking that he's got to literally the penultimate section of the thing and he's like, oh, well. Let me tell you, when I am on a long drive, if the final half hour there's traffic, I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm losing my actual whole mind. Imagine 28 years of walking. They're like, no, pardon. The thing I love... First of all, he initially thought it would take him 12 years. It's taken 28. He thought it would take him 12. That's fine. As I've said before, we love a goal. We love just trying things, just getting out there and doing it. You thought it would take you 12 years, which is already quite a lot. It took him 28. His mum has seen him 3 times in 28 years. Angela, I love Angela. This is worth it just for Angela. Angela Bushby, I imagine, is in Hull. She'll be waiting there. She's like, no, I'm not going to the Channel Tunnel. I'll be here in Hull waiting for him to walk through that gate and give him a hug. And I'll tell him, what time do you call this, Carl? Angela, 28 years. She's seen him 3 times. And it says stuff like there's been delays along the way due to geopolitics and war. I mean, he has walked through all these countries. If Pickles turned around in however long and she was like, I'm probably going to walk the earth, I'd be like, what the fuck did I do? What did I do? What do you need? What is it that you need to be away from me? Not just be away. You haven't moved to Australia. You're going to be largely uncontactable and walk through war places. No, just go to therapy. It's so funny. I'm sorry, someone's going to get in touch and be like, no, this is amazing and we should be glorifying this because it's such an excellent challenge. I just think I still sometimes fall under that bracket of like, why? Why though? You know, when people tell you they're going to free climb. What was that? What was that show? What was that film? Solo? Free solo. Climbing solo. Man solo. Whatever. And he's got like a wife and a kid. Just someone say no. Someone tell him no. That's the silly thing to do. That's a really, really silly thing to do, but absolutely good for you. She says, I was gobsmacked when Carl told me what he planned to do, says Angela, a retired packer at a snack food factory. So I guess he grew up in a house of walkers. Okay, Hattie, here we go. Here we go. Carl has always been headstrong. Once Carl puts his mind to something, he does it. Right, listen, Angela, this is a lot of headstrong though, isn't it? I don't know if Carl, I think headstrong might be that's fine. But yeah, so that's where it is. So can we all just send our really good thoughts to Carl Bushby, who is currently stuck in France because the French don't give a flying fuck that his whole life has been spent walking back to Hull and they're not letting him get there. Wouldn't it be funny if he got stopped by immigration? Like they were like, we're all in this, like, you know, reformer there being like, stop them coming in. And he's like, I'm from Hull. They're like, no one from Hull would do this, you liar. Go get him, Carl Bushby. We're all thinking of you. My guest this week is a very special one. I've shipped him in all the way from America. I'd love to think that you've come all the way for this podcast, but he's in town and it's bliss. And it's my very, very good friend all the way from Chicago, Chris Higgins.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Don't be silly. I love it.
Stoked to be here.
No, 2 years ago, were you last in Liverpool?
Yeah, I know. That was my first time, and you and Mike Rice were my tour guides.
What tour guides?
Yeah.
What a couple of tour guides.
My tour guide of Liverpool, and an Irish and a
Londoner.
and a Londoner. Yeah.
We were actually that were two United supporters, and we did take you around a tour of Anfield.
Yeah,
that was very good of us.
Supporters took me to Anfield, and I'm a big. I didn't even mention it on.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I should. Yeah. We just done an episode of Have a Word, and I was going to set you up on that one about what a big, and they knew that the boys knew what a big Liverpool supporter you were.
Yeah, massive Liverpool supporter. Great to be back. This is so amazing. You've got your podcast, which is about the little one.
The little one.
Yeah, well, not only about, but you know, yeah. I haven't met but I will.
One.
I will meet the pickles.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow, the one tomorrow. It's so weird. It's very funny. I was going to ask, because obviously when we met, so Chris is a Chicago comic. I mean, he's a nationwide American comic, but we obviously met in Chicago, and that's how we all started being such good mates. But when you think about sort of who we all were when we met,
right? We
like mere embryos ourselves, just living the absolute life of Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, do you look back on those years and like, it
was like, we were just living very close to the ground, I feel like. Like, nothing complicated about what we were doing.
Beholden to no one and no thing.
Like barely every job was quittable, or you're about to get fired at every time.
Completely that.
Like every one of the people that we hung out with was like, well, I got canned. And we were like at a bar drinking and doing open mics and doing little bar shows. And occasionally some of us would be like, oh, well, 3 of us are going to go to some fucking weird club in who knows, like Peoria, Illinois, or we're gonna go do some weird Don't Tell, which was just starting in Milwaukee or something. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, those times you don't think, because you're always like, I want more, because who doesn't want more? We're trained to, but you look back at them now and you're like, that was simple. It was sweet.
It was simple. Me and Mike still have this thing with Chicago though, where I think it's probably one of the only times in my life where I knew it was the best years of my life while I was living it. I think so often exactly that. You look back and you go, I wish I knew that this was going to be these like halcyon days that I'd remember in this like sepia glow.
I know.
I do remember thinking that 2 years in Chicago. I was like, this is very special. What you're living right now is really special. It's unlikely to be like this again.
Yeah.
Not like a sad way, but just in that we really didn't have any responsibilities at all. I mean,
and things were loose, and everyone had housemates, and the houses were always crowded with other people.
And we were like, rent was just month to month. Like if you, and then you moved out, and then you were here. Like it was
felt like a sitcom almost. Little ratty sitcom. Yeah,
like
it was great.
In a bin.
Chicago is a great city. I still live there. I'm still trapped by the romanticism of those days. You know?
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I sometimes, when we first, again, just when, I remember one time when I went back to see you guys, I had that like long summer over there, and I'd said to Mike, I was like, we'll just come back at the same time as, and he was being quite weird and cagey and like, yeah, maybe. And he said afterwards, he's like, Chicago kind of feels a bit like an ex-girlfriend. Like I don't always trust myself going back there and not falling madly in love with it again and then being so devastated that I'm coming home. Yeah. And I think there's so much of that, especially to us, where still lives in this place that was just so wonderful. And so, but again, such a testament to the time we were in, not necessarily what it is.
Right.
What it would,
Putting myself in your shoes, like thinking about leaving it too, as well as putting myself in yours and my shoes. I'm wearing different shoes on either foot.
And it sees, oh no!
Her throne, wait!
Chris, my Game of Thrones throne!
Oh, now someone's calling me.
No, it's all gone.
Get out of here.
I like it. Right, this is also, I didn't even address the fact that I sit in luxury and you sit on a pub chair.
I like that,
Thank you. I just like to put my guests in their place.
It is an amazing throne. But no, I think about leaving Chicago and it is like, oh man, that would hurt.
Yeah.
Like and having to think about Chicago in a past tense, which I know is one day will be a reality.
Yeah.
Is tough. Yeah. Cause it is just such a great city that has everything to offer. And there's like a kindness
there is
to it. And it's also big and
it's the city.
Will teach you lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a great time. I mean, it's just such a great city. And I'm sad to say sort of, it feels like, but maybe it's because my times were so good then. That I feel like it's fallen on harder times as far as the scene goes. But maybe it's because there's generations below me that are experiencing the same bliss that I was, and I'm past it.
And
right
we're
now.
the grown-ups now. Because it is funny. I mean, I go back now, and you're like, oh no, we're doing shows. Like we're doing shows at clubs and with the other. And you almost want to go back and ask like Marty DeRosa and that lot, like, were we kids to you? Like the kind of grown-ups of the scene at the time, like were we just these little like
I think we might be
little kids?
Sometimes Marty will text me and he's truly checking up on me. Like an older brother or an uncle or something like that. Like he's always just like, how you doing, bud? Really proud of you. Like he's like, you look so busy and it's so awesome. And I'll be like, Marty,
I love you so much, man.
He's like doing great. He's got his podcast. He lives in southern Wisconsin and is like has like a community center that he's like helping run basically
because he's heaven.
Yeah, and he's just having a good time. Yeah.
This is actually like a perfect segue in, because that's why I wanted to ask you. I don't know, and you also don't have to talk about it as anyone's business, whether you see kids in your future, whether you want to have kids down the line, you're not really sure. Or
it's something like, I don't think I'm closed off to it, but it's not like a plan of mine right now. You know, I think both me and my partner right now see it as untenable and unrealistic.
Sure.
But I think both of us, with more kids coming into our lives, like through other people and siblings, it's like makes you second guess how like where the decision is now. So I think I've always just been fluid. I'm like, right now, no, but
great.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
Great.
It would be fun to be a dad, but I also know I'm touring. My partner works at a comedy club at night as well.
Yeah.
You know, she's out doing her
I know.
The support system would have to be parental, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be really cool. I think it would be awesome. I see all my friends having a lot of fun. I also see my friends getting their fucking asses kicked.
Oh yeah.
By these tiny little tyrants.
I know.
But everything seems to be, it's like the thing that makes me question my decision to not have a child right now is you see like my dad and how much he like enjoys myself and my brother and my mom as well. And you're like, oh, that might be the period in your life that all the work is for. Is like you raise a little best friend.
That's
You know what I mean? You're like train. You're like, this is how I do things. Come and now I'll give mini me will be by my side for these like twilight years.
It's a really good way of thinking about it. Is that thing of, and I said this when I was nannying, I was like, there's very few other resources on earth. I'm sure everyone's going to disagree, where you get out what you put in. I remember thinking that with nannying, like the more I and the parents obviously like pouring into these little people in the hard years, in the trench years, when it is just like thankless. And they're not turning around at the end of the day being like, Hattie, you did a great job today. Well done. We love you. But you just trust the fact that then they turn around at 9 and you're like, fuck, you're brilliant. Like you're brilliant. You're wonderful. And I helped make that. Yeah. But it's funny. I've got two of my best mates, a gay couple, 2 men, and they had the conversation recently. They'd kind of decided, no, kids aren't for us. I mean, they are such active uncles, godparents, all that, you know, they're so exactly the same. There's so many kids in their lives and they're so a massive, like beautiful part of their lives. But they had another conversation recently. They were like, look, final check-in. Kind of like, final check-in. We just keep checking in every year, over the years, whether we want them. They're like, because we are now at a place where all our friends have kids. all our friends have kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are in the trenches, you know, like me in those like young years where it is just, you're just pouring yourselves into these
work.
children.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work and they're not independent and that's fine, but we know that. And he was like, because if we suddenly decide down the line that we do want them, I'm not going into the trenches just as everyone else is coming out of them and having a lovely time and going on like snazzy jazzy holidays again. He's like, I'm not doing it. We're going to trench with all our mates and then exactly that, enjoy that like flowering
that time
down
together.
the line.
Yeah.
But it's a funny one with what we do. And I've often thought, obviously I'm by comparison to a lot of my homemates, I'm a very late in life mummy. Because I'm late 30s.
I was about to ask,
Yeah, but then by comparison with comedy mates, not at all.
No, you're like paving the way.
Young teen mom.
Yeah. Everyone's
Poor
like,
Hattie.
my God, look at her, she's so brave. Yeah, all of us are like, we're so scared of growing up. Actually, that's why we do comedy.
It's exactly that. We are quite an infantilized group, weirdly. Except it's a contradiction, isn't it? Because we have to do so many things that are so alone and so self-powered and so independent and so self-sufficient. But then we are like all put together, like largely children. Yeah.
And I think a lot of it also, sorry to bum people out too. It's like you hear people in America who have a kid who then might have a health issue in the hospital and then they leave the hospital with their brand new kid and $1 million in debt. Like I know someone who's probably that hospital stay for their brand new favorite person in the world who they would do anything for and spend anything on. The American health system sidles them with $1 million in debt. Like that's crazy.
Unthinkable. Do you think that plays into more like of your peer group? Do you think
100%.
the medical system plays into more of that decision making?
Yeah, 100%. I think some people realize, like, I have enough income through comedy to support myself and have the life I want. And also Maeve and I like live a comfortable life. She's got a job, everything's good there. But then you ask the question is like, if there's a third set of bills here,
not just any bills.
How stressed are we? Yeah. Medical,
fucking
child
mega
care
bills.
Yeah, mega bills. So yeah, it's a huge, like our population is declining and a lot of people blame the fact that, you know, they've done the math. Yeah. And the unfortunate reality is the people that aren't doing the math and having tons of kids maybe aren't giving their kids the best foot forward. Like I'm talking about dumb people.
Sure.
They tend to have a lot of kids in our country for sure. And then those people elect our big orange goo man against their
who also has a lot of kids
against their own interests too. Yeah,
that's one of the wildest things.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the most interesting, like snake eating its own tail thing of happening in America is watching that in terms of, I mean, we spoke about briefly on that episode, the whole like the future for your children, but actually watching what people are doing in real time to their own futures. Yeah. It's not even thinking 3 generations ahead. It's thinking right now and being like, wait, what? You know that he won't have your back and he won't.
I know. It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Enriching himself, is he? He's a good lord.
Good little capitalist.
Yeah.
Happy little capitalist
He
man.
probably has a chair a lot like yours at home.
He does. That's an orange little goo lady.
It does look just lush in there. That looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's just really, I just like to bring people in and make them feel small. Thank you. But this is mine. Yours, I always often wonder, someone like you, I mean, I've put a thing in my head, and this is probably not, I would love to be financially in this position where this could happen, where I want to take every summer off and we have adventures. You know, we go and traverse the earth and we see stuff and we go exploring and we do, like, it doesn't have to be mad, exotic, far-flung places, but we just sort of like suck the marrow out of life and the earth. Yeah. And you're someone who absolutely did that with your parents. At least I know you definitely did with your dad.
Yeah. Well, mom and dad, for sure.
Was that always in your childhood that you were just these like adventurous?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, a little background. It's like my parents met in Kathmandu, Nepal.
Fuck yeah.
And my dad is like, he was there working for the U.S. State Department as a doctor, like an oral surgeon. And then my mom started her own mountain biking company. And so my dad's a dentist there. My mom and him, they are like big outdoorsmen. And then that's why they moved to Colorado. They're like, where's the closest we can get to Nepal in America that might have like-minded people because they're both pretty lefty.
Yeah.
And so we went to Boulder, and pretty much, I mean, a lot of times it would be like Friday, and my parents would be like, we've called in the school, you're sick, by the way, and we're going to go mountain biking now for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And then summer was like the grander scale of that. It was like we were out on these road trips in the American West for like 2 weeks at a time. Running rivers usually was the big thing. So we would take like rafts, pack them up with camping gear, and just float down the river for days on end and camp on the beaches on the river. So yeah, to answer longest answer possible, yes, like very much. And it was like my parents moved to the American West because they were like, this is where we can kind of get this space and frontier feeling that we had in Nepal. And it was just, that's what we did. Yeah. And agreed. And you don't need to be in the outdoors, an outdoorsy person to have that same experience. But yeah, every summer we were going after it. Yeah. It was,
love that.
Trying to milk the most out of where we were growing up too. That's kind of what you're saying. Like, yeah, we would travel out of the country and go on holiday on the beach and do the normal thing. But it was really like focusing on where we were, and so lucky to grow up there.
You're so lucky to grow up there. But at the same time, that's such concentrated, intense family time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you consider
like a road trip.
Yeah,
we were doing that a lot.
Do you think that's why you and your brother are so close? Do you think? I mean, as much as you are similar and you would like you innately get on.
Yeah,
those years where it's just family, like family
doing the same thing. There was kind of no choice either.
Yeah,
my parents never like looked down at us and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do this camping trip?" They're like, "Hey, we've got a really fun thing planned. You're gonna like it." You have no choice but to like it. And we both did. I mean, I think we both would be like, this is so annoying. We'd hear about other people's vacations and we'd be like, yeah, we slept on the ground in the rain for a while. But in that sense, I think my brother and I were shared trauma as well. You know, like it's like we both experienced that mudslide together, you know, like we both did all those traumatic vacations in a way.
You lived the Nam scene in Forrest Gump. Every summer.
Me carrying him out with his legs blown off. We put them back on. But yeah, I mean, maybe we also spent a lot of time in close quarters. But then, you know, my parents would be driving and they'd turn around and he and I are just fully fucking pummeling each other. Because he would do this thing where I would be sitting there looking straight ahead, just looking out the window, you know, or reading or something. Yeah. And he would get bored doing his thing and he'd look over at me and be like, well, that's how I'm going to get entertained now. I'm going to annoy that. And I would be looking straight ahead and then out of my periphery would just come his hand and he would just slowly like wipe it down my face. And he'd do that to the point where I would just like, because I was trying not to get a reaction. I was like, because I know he wants one. Yeah. And then he'd annoy me to the point where I was like, just instant violence. Like he'd do one, I'd be like, okay, like that's time now, Charlie. And I mean, I took his Beanie Baby and threw it right out the window.
Chris, I still have trauma about that.
I did.
His Beanie Baby?
Yeah, I took in a Beanie Baby and hucked it like pretty much into the river from the side of the
fucking Christ.
The motorway, as we'd call it here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Poor kid's still in therapy. Which Beanie Baby? Do you remember it?
I think it was like a 4th of July version.
Jesus fucking Christ!
It had like
Chris,
a little American flag right here.
Of course it did. The Liberty
stars.
Bear.
Yeah. I had Patty, the one with the little clover right there. Yeah.
But yours didn't get lost. It was lucky.
Patty survived. Yeah.
They always do.
Patty helped me throw that little American cunt in the river. Yeah.
That's such a funny thing, isn't it? I look back, like, again, I mean, we were 2 girls and a boy, but still just the sort of readily available violence in a household of just like thumping someone or pushing them off the bed or like against a wall or like, and you kind of, what I can't believe now, I've only got one little one, but I mean, her god brother like pushed her over and she hit her head on the floor and I was like, oh my learn. You just go, but when does that come? When does that moment of parenting come when you're just like, oh, they're just in the back, there's dust everywhere because they're like taking fucking lumps out of each other.
Yeah. I think when they get a little hardier.
I think
like
so.
3 and 4 is when they start getting a little stouter.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's time for them to get lumped.
To get it to learn. They need to learn.
What did your parents do on vacation? Like, or on summer?
We definitely wasn't.
I met your parents. They're lovely. I bet you guys went on some amazing trips.
We did, but we didn't do fancy snazzy jazzy ones. Like, I won't say we were in, like, we weren't Hawaii and the Maldives families at all. No. So there was a lot of in the car, and we would drive to France and we'd drive it. But I don't think there's big age gaps between us. So, for instance, like when we were getting into the years where we would have probably gone on more adventures. Like, I remember the year my dad had just come back from a rugby tour to Cuba, and I'm aware how incredibly privileged this is. But he'd just come back from rugby tour to Cuba, had completely fallen in love with the place, as you do. It's the most amazing place I've ever been.
Yeah.
And he was like, we've got to go back. We've got to go back to Cuba. We've got to go back. And my mum was like, oh, do we? She had a 2.5-year-old. Like, my sister was so little. She was like, do we need to go to Havana in the middle of the summer? And Dad was like, yes. And so that was probably our first. We really like read the books, did all the history, went to Havana, got to all the sites. But she had this fucking 2.5-year-old. She was like, actually, it'd be quite good to just be sat by a pool with her on a fucking lilo, to be honest. But
so then carrying around this luggage human.
This luggage human.
Yeah.
But I think that's the bit that I was aware of being a comic is travel is so ingrained in what we do.
Yeah.
Are you still traveling a lot with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
I'm landing in August, and 5 days later I'm heading to Chattanooga. I'm going from London to Chattanooga.
Right.
A classic.
It's the classic.
Classic. Everyone does that turn.
Oh, Chris, the London to Chattanooga red eye.
Yeah. We're all doing it.
And so what I've started, I mean, she's been on the road since she was 3 months old. So already we've woven in travel to my plans. Like in a couple of weeks we'll be in Devon for gigs, but I've made sure like we're staying somewhere where we're by the beach and we can do bits and bobs. I mean, there's only so much we can do. She's one. But I feel really strongly about weaving the adventures and the seeing things and going places with my job rather than it being like against my job.
Yeah.
Because I think when you look at it on paper, what we do for a living and the way we all live is where you're just like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to be able to take her on like a really, unless things start going very, very well, and that'd be really nice. But like, fancy snazzy jazzy holidays, because I can't take that amount of time off.
Yeah. Well, and but there's like a sense of adventure to your life, like you're saying.
Right.
That she can experience some really cool stuff that no other kids, like, what are you doing? I'm going wherever my mom is every weekend. Like that's so cool. Yeah. And everyone else has like a parent who's like, we're saving up.
Yeah.
So I can take vacation so we can go to the place and we'll have our fun then. But when it's like us, constant fun kind of, like it's like, I don't really go on big vacations, but my mom is a fucking riot.
Yeah.
We're having a good time every day kind of. So yeah.
Do you think your parents kind of infused then adventure into just life, just by virtue of where you were living? The kind of,
it was like important to them that we were going on like hikes and mountain biking and kayaking pretty much whatever season it was, or skiing pretty much every weekend or every day. I mean, it got to the point where I like was a high schooler and I was like racing skiing and like or preparing for mountain bike things or whatever. And pretty much. Yeah.
How do you square that with living in a city now and being quite beholden to travel and airplanes and going to comedy clubs and things? How do you square it?
I definitely miss that side of my life. Like, and I get to go home a lot to Colorado and go on like backpacks or go on a rafting trip.
When you came to us 2 years ago, you and Dad, had you done Scotland?
Yeah, we had just walked the West Highland Way. So that's like how we squared, is like make big plans. Like if I hadn't done Paddy Power Comedy Festival, our plan was to be in Oregon running the Rogue River together for like 6 days. So it's like very much like that's what our plans are to do. And like my dad is 72. He's very like capable 72-year-old, but he knows the writings on the wall and like, you know, this is his last time probably doing the Rogue. At least he's saying that.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh,
so it's like, you know, you missed the last time I'm running the Rogue, but I guess you're going to Dublin. That's fine.
My dad has been saying for years, like rugby tours. I mean, he doesn't play rugby anymore, obviously, but he's been chairman of the club for 8 at the club that he always played for.
Right.
And after the last tour, I mean, 3 of them nearly died in Japan. Like 3, they're just children. Like they all get together and they're like little boys, but exactly they're 70. And he voiced the other day, he was like, they're actually going to Italy now. And we were like, stop. It has to stop. They have this like late in life, like chutzpah.
Where they're absolutely sending it. Because they're like, one last hurrah.
Dance.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm happy to do it. And I love doing it. And my mom, like she, same thing. We don't go on as many like camping trips like with me and my mom.
Yeah.
But like same thing. Like when I get back to Colorado, that's like how we catch up. Like, go into the mountains and go on a walk.
It's a really lovely thing to hear, because I think sometimes when you're obviously everyone, and I think everyone is so different, has the right to be so different how they parent, but I think we often get so caught up with what we can provide for them, what we can give them, what they need, doing this and having lovely things, or going, doing the family summer holiday. And actually it's something that I sort of took very seriously quite early on because of my situation, being the sole earner. I was like, I do actually need to infuse fun and adventures and exploration into just us being on the road and us doing stuff. And I also say that with an enormous amount of gratitude that my job happens at night. It's all very well and good. Like if I had a 9 to 5 during the day, like I'm not going to be sitting and be like, I'm going to infuse adventure into the 10-minute walk to Tesco. Like I think I have to be aware of that I do have more time, if not the resources. How did your parents take that, because they obviously have jobs in America? None of you get given holidays because so how do they just like? Well,
my dad was a dentist, so he was like he owned his own practice, so he was the boss.
Fine.
And so when he was going on vacation, he'd be like, well, we're not doing any dental procedures. You can just get like your cleanings and your checkups.
He was just in the mountains, like setting up a like fake shop,
just
being like,
gone. And he also did that as well. We would go to like he'd team up with some kind of nonprofit and go do dental work in like a more like a rural part of Mexico.
That's so cool.
Or Guatemala or something. Definitely went on a few trips like that. But then my mom, she worked for the like public access TV channel in Boulder. But both were like my dad was his own boss, and my mom's boss was like her best friend.
Yeah.
And so she could just be like, hey, we're going camping. And everyone was like, okay. Like, I think it was idyllic. I mean, it was the 90s. It wasn't as serious. It wasn't as competitive, I think, to like earn money all the time.
I wonder this. I sometimes, again, go back to the halcyon day thing. I wonder about our childhood, because I guess the same, our parents are the same age. And it did just feel free, not free. I mean, I was still in London, so it's not like I was one of those kids who was like let out in the morning and like come back at night time. Like we'd all have been taken and be killed. So it wasn't like no children.
Yeah.
But I do feel there was just this boredom. I think we were allowed to be more bored.
Right.
And from boredom, when you're that little, comes play and creativity and silliness.
And like just stillness as well.
Like
sit there and like be a quiet kid as well. But now it's like, is there a quiet moment? Okay, where's my screen? Entertain me, or you lose out on the adventure because you're fucking...
Because you've had it robbed of you a
bit. Yeah, you're very right. I mean, I think that like, so have you asked that question of like when you're a kid, or when your kid gets to the age of when they could get a phone,
the screen,
when are they getting it? Yeah.
Well, I feel really tricky because everyone's doing what they have to do. And I decided with Pickles, she doesn't have any screen at the moment. She has, when I go on stage, if she's on bad form, like if she's being a bit of a brat, and she's allowed to watch the Elmo song. So the Elmo song is from when we were little, like Sesame Street from when we were little, not the new like Fever Dream that they've released.
Oh man, yeah.
It's too much, babe. It's too much.
Just absolutely like pressure wash your kid's mind.
Yeah, Sesame Street took a bit of crack and came back. But so she watches that. But I've decided she's not going to do it till at least 2. And then maybe we'll sit down and watch old Sesame Street reruns. Yeah. But I haven't quite solved that in my head, because I mean the phone thing is a different thing. I think there's loads of kids now, especially over here, or the kids I used to nanny when they go off to secondary school, so that's 11. They're getting given burner phones. So like they have Snake on it. It's like a Nokia 3310. Do you know what I mean? Like the phones we had.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so they can't, so they're not on the internet, they're not doing this.
I think some, I mean, there's probably studies that are out there, but they're being repressed of just like, hey, you shouldn't give your kid a screen. I mean, I remember growing up and then they'd be like, get away from the screen. You're too close to the TV.
Oh my God, you remember that? You're sitting too close to the TV.
Get away from the TV, you're too close. And now they're like, here, bring it right here all day.
That's so true. I'd forgotten that we were told that.
Yeah, we were told to get away from the TV. And eventually they're like,
no, do you know what? Fuck it. Just put your earpods in and watch it like this.
The internet's on there. Yeah. So get close to the TV if you want. Learn about nothing all day. Yeah. God. I mean, it's something I wonder, and it's something I see like some other parents, like not even really my friends. I think all of my friends do a really good job of like, and family are like, they're pretty smart and keyed in on what screen time can do to a little guy.
Yeah.
But you see some people like at a wedding or like on the plane, their kid they're just like, here, give the kid the iPad, suck them into that, and nothing else. Like I'm just, now I can take off being a parent for the day.
Yeah.
You know,
well, they call it, I've heard it when a nanny called it like the screen nanny, screen babysitter.
Yeah,
just as this thing. Do you know what though? I had a day a little while ago where she was really just a lot. She was like attached, very, very, just emotions very close to the surface. Really like what my dad would call cruising for a bruising, like just like sniffing out mischief. And and just everything. Like the shower plug was coming out. She was chewing on my phone charger, like the full shebang. And I had a moment where I was like, fuck it, just put the telly, like put some sort of horrific, bright, swirly thing. Yeah. Just so she's still. Yeah. For like 15 minutes. But what's so funny about that is the one time on this holiday where she had a meltdown, proper like little tantrum, we'd had the telly on all morning. Because it was World Cup, so we'd had the TV on all morning just to watch the England-Norway game, and I was like, it just, and
then it was off, and she was like, oh,
she just was obviously like all this stuff and all these things and all of this like this whatever it does to their brains. I mean, there was so much science on it. Whatever it does had, and she just lost it, and I was like,
you gotta let them deal with that too, I guess. Right?
I know.
That's the other thing. Like you sometimes see, you're like, you let your kid be uncomfortable. I don't know. At least I was raised by my dad. I would be like having a fit, and my dad would be like, "Have your fit. I'm not going to do anything to me." Like
That's the bit I really like. Yeah. I remember my mum tells this story about one time I was talking to I was like 3 or 4. Yeah, probably. I'm talking to a lady in the playground. She was like, "And are you a good girl for your mummy?" And I was like, "Yeah." But sometimes when I'm not, she puts me in the hole. And Mum said, it sounded like you'd said hole. Like when I'm not, she puts me in the hole. She's like, what you meant was I'd put you in the hall. Like if I was having a temper tantrum, I got put in the hallway, being like, you go deal with it and you come out when you're ready to be nice. Right. That was always the thing. It's like, you go back and you deal with it and come out ready to be nice.
Sometimes she puts me in the hole. We got to check out this lady's cellar maybe. Yeah. Hey, this lady has a hole she puts her child in. Anyone concerned at all? The hole. I mean, I just got to, I felt like, that's the rules. Like you give your kid the screen when they're like, you need a second, but not when they need it.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? Like if
it's to soothe you, not them.
Yeah, like they don't get to ask for it.
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know what? Mom needs a little moment here.
Mom would like to eat her scrambled eggs, not stood up.
It's like it's like in school in America, it's that like trope is like the teacher's hungover when he was like, we're watching a movie today, guys.
Do you have any idea how many times our Latin teacher rolled in the TV for Gladiator?
Yeah, we're watching Gladiator again. Oh God,
it's so true.
Yeah, so that's when the kid gets TV. It's
when the adults hung over.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, all right.
Just
don't watch anything loud and annoying.
Just head on the table.
Yeah.
Like,
enjoy planet Earth.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what. And again, also maybe it's like that's what you show them.
Yeah.
It's like because no matter what's on the TV, they're young, dumb little kids. They're gonna get mesmerized by everything. Oh. So just at least show them like, here's the rainforest.
Chris,
you know,
you'd be so proud of me. So when I had Ralphie, my Ralphie, who I was with for like just under 3 years, Ralphie, who I had from when he was 16 months to nearly 4, I got into, so Disney Plus do these nature documentaries and they're all like narrated by quite famous celebrities, but they're lovely and they're Disneyfied. So there's a little story. Mm-hmm. It's obviously not real, but there's a little story. And we loved the dolphin one with narrated by Natalie Portman, and we'd watch it. He got really like looped into it, just absolutely looped into it, to the point of I successfully nannied the first ever 3-year-old whose favourite animal in the world was the peacock mantis shrimp. He'd tell people the
That's
peacock
so
mantis
funny.
shrimp. The minute with the peacock mantis shrimp came on set, he would go ballistic to the point that on his birthday, he got peacock mantis shrimp merch. Like people had like Etsy'd peacock mantis shrimp, like pictures and books and things because he just, and I was like, this is bliss.
Yeah.
It was always the screen only went on when I was cooking, when I was like, I actually need you out of the kitchen because you'll hands and burn and pots and whatever. So it was always then, or we would watch it together if, it was a minute. But yeah, peacock man,
I feel like that's better that than like, I like this fucking...
It's the Twinkies again! And they're all, I mean...
Yeah. Like, Bluey seems cool, but... I mean,
people really like Bluey. I think Bluey's got chill vibes.
Yeah. Bluey, Miss Rachel. People love
Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there's this other woman in my house who my kids might prefer.
Right.
I'm not competing with
There's
Miss
like
Rachel.
something she does to kids though. There's like I saw a compilation of like my kids throwing a fit, and then I threw on Miss Rachel, and the kids like, like whoa, like that. Yeah,
I feel like it's like having. I feel a bit like having a boyfriend, and you're in an argument, and you bring the Pussycat Dolls in.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm fucked.
Fuck. He's gonna be ignoring me now. Yeah.
Don't you wish you could?
Yeah,
yes,
like,
he does. Yes, because I yelled all morning.
Yeah.
Yes, he does wish.
Yeah. I was mean to him a little bit all morning.
Yeah. Please stop wearing that leotard.
God, he's gonna wish for you. That's so funny.
So I feel like I get complex about Miss Rachel, but there's all these, all these little things, like things you got to hoik. I do the comedy thing though. Do we have of our like Chicago peers of a lot who we come up? Has anyone else had the babies?
I mean, they're all kind of not doing comedy anymore. Right. Yeah. Like, do you remember Matt Shiramonte?
Yes.
He's got a daughter.
Yes. Yeah. Is that just because of the bills situation? The thing of like needing medical insurance, needing a thing that, salary that comes in every month, needing... Is it that?
Maybe. I mean, I'm trying to think of comedians with kids. Like, I know that, like, Rosebud Baker has one.
Yeah, and they have,
God, I'm like drawing a blank. There's got to be more.
No, I know, and you always see them like pregnant, but...
Yeah, Derek Stroop just had a little kid.
Oh, cute.
So, yeah, I mean, but those are like two comedians that are doing really well.
Yeah.
And like have a good situation.
Precisely that.
Yeah.
It is a mad thing. I mean, and I say this, it's more so in the States. I think it is more so in the States, that sort of decision about like...
Just impossible.
What you can offer them, what they're gonna fucking cost you.
Mm-hmm. And that's like why it's like now I'm making a little money, the tour is doing okay, and like and so now I'm like, yeah, kids, maybe. It used to be like a flat out fuck no. But it's like you earn a little bit extra, it's like almost a reward, and maybe America's set up that way.
Yeah.
You gotta earn a little bit, and you get your dream.
Do you feel like you'd then want to? Because something I don't really battle with it because I've made my peace with it, but to compare it with your own childhood. So someone who had the most outdoorsy childhood, the most like adventure-y childhood, the most.
Right.
Do you think
I definitely would want to be able to give them that?
You would.
Yeah. I think so, or something akin to it. Like when you made a really good point of like being like taking them on your adventure as well, like the comedy adventure, like thinking about being a kid and being like, every weekend my dad takes me to a city that he's going to do comedy at, and we explore the city, and then I go to bed, he does his job, and then we go explore. You know what I mean? That would be freaking cool.
It is a lovely idea, and it's a lovely idea. Like when we did it in Scotland, I put Mum and Pickles in this like lovely place where it was so green and beautiful, and I then in the nighttime like zipped off to Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's a bit different when you're in Coventry for the weekend, though, isn't it? Like, like there's those clubs when they're like on a strip mall outside of Cincinnati. It's
true.
And your kid's going back in on Monday being like,
I
saw a woman trying to tame geese in a car park.
Would love to see my friends too. And then there gets to be a certain point where it's like, they're like 13, 14. They're like, actually, I want to stay home and see my girlfriend. And you're like, the hell are you talking about?
Is a girlfriend?
Or it's like, or my best friends, they're all going to a thing this weekend, and you're like, well, I have to. You're coming to work with me. Yeah.
Do you think we would accidentally breed because of what we do? Someone was saying this, like we do this thing that exists in the nighttime. There's a lot of alcohol. Like for some people, a lot of substance abuse. It's a bit like it's a bit like, obviously not to us because we know that everyone's an idiot, but it's a bit cool what we do in theory. Like when you tell people you're stand-up, it's a bit cool.
Yeah.
Do you think the version of our kids' rebellion would be being like the biggest fucking nerds in the world?
Yeah, maybe.
I'd fucking love
maybe.
that.
I mean, it's true. Like you see the unhappiness of your parents maybe, and you go, well, what can I do that's not that?
Yeah.
And then you do something. I mean, my dad was pretty happy, like having a consistent job, but I definitely saw him like going to work every day, and I'd be like, that looks like a slog. I gotta not figure out how to like
in the morning.
Yeah, he's like getting up. It's like barely like I remember. No, it'd be dark out. My dad's like getting on his bike with a lamp on his head on the bike, riding to work, and I was like getting up, and I'd be like, damn, work looks tough. I think school's hard, and he's like, heading in to go prepare for a day of doing dental procedures or whatever. And I was like, well, I got to figure out a way to maybe sleep in a little bit. Because this is not a good time for me right now.
Every day?
And it gets worse, it looks like.
It's exactly that.
But
I can't wait. I can't wait till she turns into a like, in a like princess dress at 12 and someone's like, what do you want to be? She's like, have a salary at a 9 to 5.
Yeah. And retirement fund. I want a retirement fund, actually. I'd like a Roth IRA. Like, yeah, that's true. Maybe, but maybe that's the secret. It's like I'm gonna be so chaotic that I make like a little fucking Rhodes Scholar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anything, see, that's what we're doing for the future generations. We're being such rats in a bin that you're going to be the most fucking polished together human.
Right.
That
My
you've
room's
ever...
like a wreck. I looked at my kids' room like, you cleaned. Good. Nice. You cleaned your room.
Your kids run down to the kitchen and be like, Dad, you really need to clean your room.
Yeah.
It's kind of stinky.
No, man. No.
Not me.
No, brother. It's like, have you ever considered making your bed, Dad? Have you ever considered not? That's the fucking
square.
point, you idiot. I literally today left a do not disturb thing on my hotel room because I was like, I don't want to have to untuck those again.
I was exhausted.
Yeah, that really fucking took a toll on my calves while I was trying to be my most restful. Yeah, so lazy
God
of
damn
me.
it, it's like the fucking crystal maze in
What the
here.
hell is this? How'd they seal this under me? Well, the problem is that I get on top of the mattress and work against my own weight. But yeah, my laziness was like, I don't want them to make the bed. I want my little rat's nest when I come home.
So good.
I've nested well in there. Yeah.
Don't disrupt my nest.
Don't disrupt my nest. So funny.
On that, bliss. I think our kids are going to be fine, hypothetical or otherwise. I think our kids are going to be just fine.
Maybe I want a kid now.
Yeah, fuck it, you're welcome.
Oh, poor Maeve.
Just come back and be like, I'm ready to procreate.
Yeah, she said it before. She's like, if we have kids, you're taking care of it. She's like, I'm the deadbeat dad that's leaving. She's like, you're taking care of the kid.
Yes.
And then I'm like, Mom, got something for you.
You wouldn't be the first dad to do that.
I know my mom would be like a yes.
Yeah,
like,
I bet.
she would be like, fuck yeah, I loved.
Fuck yeah.
That lady loved being a mother. That's for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love you. And thank you
I
for
love
coming
you.
on the pod.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. I can't wait to meet the pickles.
You got to.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, you're a cutie. That was lovely. Okay, the letter portion. I got a bit of a upset phone call from a friend this week who is going through IVF. It's a very emotional thing. A lot of you listening have gone through it and done it. But I'll do the letter because it was a really interesting conversation and one that I sort of loved having with her. And I don't know if it will help anyone else. I'm not doing this letter to be like, because I want to help all of you. It might help one or two of you. To every idiot at the IVF clinic. There are not many of you, but you do know who you are, mainly because I told you in email correspondence, but I think if you're being honest, I told you nothing you didn't already know. Kate, this is not for you. My perfect Kate, the nurse who came in and held my hand and told me her story of being the exact same age I was when she got pregnant by herself with a donor, who told me about her son and told me about meeting her now wife along the way and the beautiful family that they now have together. Linda, this is not for you either. I actually miss you every day still. Linda, who kept smiling through the tough bits and cuddled me on the best day. Who said she knew as soon as I walked in through the door that I was pregnant. Who chastised me like a mother when I said me and my 3-week-old fetus were flying to China. Who let Kay cry in her office and cuddled her too when we heard the baby's heartbeat for the first time. To the nurse in the room who let me hold her hand while I cried while being sedated, this is not to you either. To the other brilliant nurse on the big day who had seen me on stage doing comedy supporting one of my best mates and remained in the room when I was inseminated, which means that technically I can say I got impregnated by a Mike Rice fan, this is also not a letter to you. To Dr. Rimington, who could not have done more for me on the science side. To the charming doctor whose name I can't remember, who actually got me pregnant, not like on Pornhub. Thank you to you both. This letter is also not to you. It was not lost on me that a girl who didn't trust a man to start a family with her had her family started by 2 men I trusted with every fibre of my being. I will tell you who this letter is to. To the uppity little pretty girl who spoke to me like a mentally handicapped primate when I asked for the name of gamete transportation couriers. You're never going to believe this. Some of us did not know that gamete transportation, by which I mean literally a man with a thermos of sperm in his motorbike saddlebags, was a thriving little industry. I knew even less how to find one, less even still about the rigmarole of booking one, and even less, if you can imagine, about the ones that 2 particular clinics were happy sperm liaising with. I also then picked the one you suggested, which turned out to delay the whole treatment schedule by 2 months. So maybe less time colouring in your eyebrows with a fucking Sharpie and a little more time working on your nice voice. Incidentally, to the gamete transportation company who quite literally ghosted a single bitch. Ghosted a single woman who is so over the dating pool that she's having a baby by herself. You ghosted her. The underworld awaits, you can be sure. To the accounts department who decided never to mention that there was an expiration date on the treatment I had paid thousands of pounds to put myself through, and then had to backtrack because a Virgo keeps and remembers everything. Every receipt you didn't even know was ever in existence. We keep them and will brandish them when we are called upon. Now go in peace and remember this. This is the word of our Lord, Beyonce, leader of the Virgos. To the fucking mouth breather of a patient liaison who answered every 3rd email and then went on annual leave on the month I was actually having treatment and didn't think it was necessary to mention that. This letter is most definitely, absolutely, for sure for you. I want to thank each and every one of you for being an incompetent spanner. One of my pals called me this week crying. She's about to start IVF and she had found that due to one of the left field bureaucratic paperwork-based fuck-up, the treatment will be delayed. As someone who had this on 4 separate occasions, I know what happens when the match you have spent months gearing yourself up for is rained off. I know what happens when the purpose with which you've been making more or less every decision for the past however many months is upended. It involves tears, a lot of them. An exhausted, lonely outpouring of them, and a feeling of being more helpless and adrift than you can bear. So I listened to her like I was rereading my diary. And then I told her all of my delays, all the village idiots who populated my musical of that time, and how barely a day goes by when I don't think how close I came to not having my daughter. If any one of them had been competent and not what we would have called in the 90s a div, then I wouldn't have her. I know I may well have another child who I also loved and adored, but this little girl, this one here, dancing to Pink Pony Club and laughing like Frank Bruno, wouldn't be here. And that's terrifying. For any of you in the thick of IVF now, please know that everything that delays this, everything that fucks it up, everything that frustrates and devastates you along the way of a very emotional journey are going to be the things you look back on and you say, thank God. And then I realised that's not even specific to baby making. It relates to all the best things. The best nights out, the best shags, the best loves, the best career highs, the best breathless, laughing, crying nights on holiday with your best friends. I can't be the only person for whom virtually, if not definitely, all of my most treasured gems of experiences collected over my life owe something to so-called accident. So take all of them with a smile. Because let me tell you, my friend, when you look at that baby of yours, it'll make you not believe in accidents ever again. So to all of the people I called a moron, thank you. You are, but you're my morons. And I wouldn't have any one of you incompetent single-finger typers any other way. Hatty.